this is Rhea Launch Control at T-minus 8 minutes, 15 seconds, coming to you live from Launch Complex 1 here at Rodriguez Flora. I am Kingo, head of media here at GSST, and we are currently targeting liftoff today at the top of the window for the second GalacticNet mission. Carrying a batch of experimental satellites for our in-house internet constellation. The rocket you see over my shoulder is Rhea. This will be the 8th launch of the one of the last flights of the launch configuration. She is currently in preparation at our Key Largo facility, and more details of that will be shared in the coming months. Today's mission will follow a similar flight profile to the previous Rhea launches, with confinement to stage 2 mode for improved coordinate accuracy. And we did add some improved software for the future splashdown. So after the second engine cutoff, payload deployment will begin later. Right now, we are completing fuel loading on both stages. First stage is being filled with its RP1 fuel and supercooled liquid oxygen, feeding the 4 BS-4B engines. Together, that generates about 2,352 kilonewtons of thrust at liftoff. So RP1 is rocket-propelled one, or highly refined kerosene. It is a mixture typically used on rockets. It's simple and efficient for what we need to do. First and second stage both use the same propellant. First stage has 4 engines, and the second stage has a single PS2A vacuum-optimized engine. So Rhea stands at 41 meters tall with a core diameter of 3.2 meters. So today's weather conditions are within good limits. We have some scattered cloud layers and some favorable upper level wind data, but currently the range is green. Weather looking about an 80% go for launch today. No traffic violating any exclusion zones. So today's payload, as I said before, are some experimental GalacticNet satellites. These experimental satellites are intended to validate the system and give us important data and knowledge for our upcoming constellation. It will be the first, if successful, will be the first orbital segment of what will eventually become a large mesh network. Coming up on T-minus 4 minutes. Right now, the vehicle avionics are in their final configurations. Alignment of the navigation units are currently underway, and flight software for both stages have passed their pre-launch verification checks. Again, as I said, weather is green across all commit criteria. Downrange recovery zone is also clear. No range violations currently.
Strong back retract.
So you heard the call out for strong back retract. That strong back we use to transport the vehicle, raise it to its vertical position, and then it provides all the umbilical connections to the vehicle. That is how we fuel the rocket and provide electrical power. that is now moving away as we prepare for launch. Coming up on T-minus 2 minutes 40 seconds. Right now, the flight termination system is fully armed and verified green for both stages. Those pyrotechnic lines are meant to safely destroy the rocket if it veers off its flight course. Helium pressurization systems for both stages are currently pressurizing the vehicle up to its final flight pressure. That helium provides pressure to the tanks, and while we are burning off the fuel, it will maintain constant pressure and ullage and integrity as we complete it. So you heard that prop load complete, so all of the liquid oxygen and rocket propellant 1 is loaded on the vehicle. That ground gas closeout means that we are purging all the ground fuel lines.
Rhea is in launch auto sequence.
There we have the call out for launch auto sequence, so the ground launch sequencer has handed off control to the vehicle's autonomous launch sequencer. It is now controlling the countdown. Engine venting systems are currently active. That is cooling the engines down in preparation for ignition to prevent any thermal shock from the propellants. All propellant tanks are currently at flight pressure.
LD is go for launch.
The ignition chain is currently armed, all four engines on the first stage. Handing it off to mission control.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. That the vehicle has passed the range of maximum pressure and dynamic pressure on the vehicle. As a good call out. Rhea is now supersonic past the speed of sound. just a few moments, we'll have three rapid events. You'll see cutoff of the first stage, separation of the first and second stage, and then ignition of that upper stage BS2A engine. After separation, the booster will be guiding itself back down to a splashdown off the coast.
Miko, stage separation. Stage separation confirmed. BS2A ignition.
There you saw that successful cutoff of the first stage engines, separation of the second stage, and then ignition of that engine. There you see those fairings falling away. Those fairings are used to protect the vehicle and payload during launch. Once we reach through the atmosphere, and we do not need that anymore, so we jettison it. First stage is currently coasting on its descent trajectory.
Stage 2 power and telemetry nominal.
That first stage will be reorienting itself in preparation for entry and splashdown. We will not be recovering that first stage today. There you see on your screen that view of the 7 GalacticNet satellites.
Booster passing 60 kilometers.
The first stage booster currently re-entering the Earth's atmosphere, guiding itself on its trajectory towards its targeted splashdown zone.
Stage 2 trajectory nominal. Booster splashdown confirmed.
There we had splashdown of that first stage booster. Again, we will not be recovering that today. Amazing tracking shot of that first stage booster coming down. Today's circularization will occur in 2 burns. So about 4 minutes after we have cut off of the second stage, that engine will reignite 4 minutes later, and to finalize the burn, placing the payloads into its desired orbit. So, yeah, sorry, I kind of messed up my words, but yeah, after we have Seco 1, there will be a 4-minute coast phase, and then that engine will reignite. So this is the first of 2 burns, as I said. Shortly after when we have cut off of that second burn, we will have another coast phase, bleeding off any residual acceleration, going and checking all flight systems to make sure that it is safe to deploy the payloads, and then you will see the payloads separate. Again, the payload on board today are 6 experimental GalacticNet satellites, or no, it's 7. 6 or 7. But yeah, second stage is continuing on its trajectory. When we have separation of those payloads, they will be separated in their pair. So as the group of 7, those will slowly, over a longer period of time, be detached from each other on their own and guide themselves into their final orbits.
Terminal guidance.
They heard the call out for terminal guidance. Terminal guidance means that the vehicle is passing into its final stage of this portion of flight. So it is guiding itself on its desired pathway to reach its target trajectory. Again, once we have got off of that second stage, we'll have a 4-minute coast phase and then a second burn. Expecting cutoff of that second stage in just a few moments.
BS2A shutdown.
There you have shutdown of the second stage engine, that BS2A engine. So now we are entering the 4-minute coast phase. Rhea is continuing on its orbital trajectory. Once we reach our desired point, the second stage engine will reignite to circularize and finalize that trajectory. While we wait for that second engine start 2, SES2, I will give you just some details. We are currently working on construction of our facility at the Wallace Flight Facility in Virginia, United States. That will be the second launch site to support Rhea. We of course had that Theia launch, I think it was last week or the week before, I forgot already. But yeah, second launch for Theia is expected sometime in September. Currently, making upgrades to the vehicle flight systems and overall the entire vehicle to improve reliability and all that. We will be doing the same for Rhea. This is one of the final Block 1 rockets for Rhea, or Block 1 variants. We'll soon be moving into Block 2, which will be just a overall upgraded version of Rhea. We are currently in the final phases of testing and production of those. You can see behind me, that tower right over there, that is where we launched Theia from. And then the smaller one, to my right, is where Rhea launches from. You can see that strong back in the distance. Also, while we wait here for that second burn, I would like to give remembrance to Jim Lovell. He passed away very recently. He was the commander of the famous Apollo 13 mission, and he also flew on the first manned flight to the moon, Apollo 8. He was 97.
BS2A relay.
There we have reignition of that second stage engine. So that is the final burn, putting the vehicle on its target orbit, vehicle and payload. This will be under a minute planned for the burn.
BS2A shutdown.
You saw a cutoff of the second stage engine. The vehicle will now coast for roughly 10 minutes until we have deployment of those 7 GalacticNet satellites. while we wait here, I would love to thank everyone who has supported GSST in the past year, all our partners and all our members and supporters. We truly could not do it without all the people that support us. This group represents something much larger than just making little rockets. We have grown so much over the past year. It is amazing to see how far that this group has come, and we can't wait to see what happens in the future. It'll be a very bright future, and we hope that you can be a part of it. So thank you very much. So we do have some time before that payload deploy. For Theia, as that did launch on the 27th, if I remember, something like that. We are currently upgrading the vehicle, bringing it to its Block 1.5 variant. So that will be a lot of upgrades overall to the vehicle, the structures, and the software. So trying to make every new mission more successful and smooth. Trying to increase reliability so we can build up a cadence with that vehicle. For those who don't know, Theia is GSST's heavy launch vehicle. If you are curious to see what that was, you can click on the YouTube channel and go back and watch the previous live stream, which was that launch of Theia. It was very cool, so I recommend it. Payload deploy will come up at about T plus 25 minutes, so in about 5 minutes, 20 seconds. I'd like to give a very tiny shout out to Celestial Space Corporation. Launching in about 20 hours. First launch in 11 months. So I recommend it. If you're wondering what that is, go check the partners in the Discord channel and go check it out.
Stage 2 FTS saved.
You had safing of the second stage flight termination system. Again, that flight termination system is intended to basically self-destruct the vehicle if it veers off its flight course. The safing means that the flight has gone off as planned and we can begin safing it and yeah. All system channels now being powered off for that termination system. information on future missions for Rhea and future upgrades for Rhea and Theia, and just everything in general for this group will be available in our Discord server. So if you're not already in it, I do recommend joining that. It is in the description of this live stream or other live streams. It is also on the main channel links. So if you're not in it, I recommend it. You can also follow us on Twitter for updates on other stuff. You can just follow progress there too. So that's at GSST Roblox, all capitals. We are coming up on separation of the payloads in about a minute and a half. We will see separation of those 7 GalacticNet payloads.
Stand by for payload deployment. Payload deploy confirmed.
So you see deployment of those GalacticNet satellites. So with GalacticNet, we will be providing support to airlines as well. Shout out to Southeastern Airlines. Primary airline experimenting with connection speeds for stuff like that. But yeah, that was you saw a payload deployment of those 6 satellites. Those will separate on their own, perform their adjustments to get in their final orbits. But as the payload is deployed now and the vehicle's primary mission is now over, I will be ending my commentary here. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Quingo, and I will be. I'll see you next time.